Hey everyone, I'm happy to have you on the channel. Today we have a March Madness appearance on the line. That's right, Coach Carter is seeking his second Ohio Valley Conference title and his second NCAA Tournament bid in his fifth coaching season here at UT Martin. Welcome back to the College Hoops 2K Legacy Mode series featuring Coach Carter, as today marks the biggest game of Ken Carter's fifth season at UT Martin. But as we all know, the road to greatness is always filled with obstacles, and this entire season's biggest obstacle has been in the form of Eastern Kentucky. Tennessee Martin put together an 18-2 record in league play, destroying the competition, but the only team to beat us in the OVC all season long was EKU, as they stunned us not once but twice and swept the two-game season series against us, giving us our only blemishes on our conference record, and now stand in our path as our opponent in the conference championship game, with March Madness of course on the line. UT Martin came in as the heavy favorites in the postseason tournament, but that didn't still mean it wasn't a roller coaster ride getting to this point. The 8th-seeded Tennessee State Tigers made Coach Carter work very hard to get his 100th coaching win last episode, and in the second round we took advantage of a depleted Murray State team who was missing their best player in Sebastian Farley, and Evan Schneiderman, who by the way averages 3 points in his career, had a 20-point explosion for us to help shut the door on the Racers. And before we tip it off today, let's check out EKU's roster and try to find out why this has been such a tough matchup for us. So Eastern Kentucky, here we go again, looking for our first win in 3 attempts against the Colonels this season. They come in at 17-15 overall, an impressive 13-5 in league play, and highlighting the Colonels is 7-footer Aaron Dooley, who leads the team in scoring. It'll be a fun one to watch down low, as our 7-footer center, Christopher Fay, has been playing out of his mind down the stretch of his senior season. EKU has been very competitive each season of Coach Carter's 5-year stint in the conference. They've won a conference title since he's been here, and they've always played a team game that leaves defenses guessing. They're top 3 in the OVC in team points, assists, and field goal shooting. So let's head down to the Thompson Bowling Arena, the home of the Tennessee Vols, but today it will be the host of the OVC Championship. UT Martin's had some disappointing finishes recently. Last year, they lost in the semifinals to Samford, but this year, Coach Carter's trying to right his wrongs here in Season 5 and go for his second OVC crown. So, UTM, EKU, here we go for the OVC Championship. A pair of 7-footers meet each other at the timeline, Dooley versus Fay for the opening tip, and Eastern Kentucky, the 17-15 Colonels, will have the first rights to the orange off of the tip. Not only has Eastern Kentucky won both matchups this season, but they've won them both by at least 10 points. A 77-66 win over UTM in the first meeting, and then back at home, EKU beat us by a whopping 18 points as Sam Rigel goes backdoor for the first basket of the OVC Championship, and Rigel is their best 3-point shooter. But there he is doing some work down low. He averages 8.5 on the season, and then he picks the pocket of Luke Lawton. So the Colonels force a turnover and a run-out opportunity on the conference's top offense. UT Martin averages around 72 points per game as an entire unit. They have a big lead in that category in terms of their conference opponents, as Jacques Diggs and Chris Fay link up for the first basket on UT Martin's side of things. Those are our 2 top scorers, and they're both top 5 in the conference in points per game. Diggs averages 16 and Fay averaging 14. Looking backdoor now is Theron Jones with his second assist. Sam Rigel scores points 5 and 6, so the sophomore is doing it all in the early goings for the Colonels. Now back on the attack, here is Arturo Conklin, who feeds it to Theron Jones for 3. Arturo Conklin is a freshman. He's filling the shoes of the fallen Jay Jennings. EKU is out there starting point guard, but they still share the rock at a very high level. Speaking of sharing the rock, that's what Blaine Fry tries to do to Fay, but Aaron Dooley rejects him, as Dooley is getting the better of that matchup down low thus far. And now Theron Jones with the mismatch. People have to provide help, as Chris Fay cannot stand in front of him. And once again, leaving the back door wide open is UTM, 11-4. Check that, make that 13-4 after another Colonel's basket. So the heavy favorites, UTM, looking very overwhelmed here in the tournament as Fry looks cross court. Jacques Diggs wide open for 3-ball, number 174 on the season. He's taken 352 attempts from the field total, and over half of them, 174, have been 3-point attempts. And he's making 44% of them on the season, so why not keep taking them? 2 more free throws for Diggs to add to his totals, but EKU once again breaking the UT Martin press seamlessly. And this one is a 3-point opportunity for Josh Marshall, the sophomore, as he gets the better of the upperclassman Faye. And look at this, a little showboating at the end of this one. No love lost between these two teams. A couple of huge battles over the years as Chris Faye a little too slow to draw the charge. 17-12 now, UT Martin trailing as Theron Jones with another nice feed to Josh Marshall. Points 5 and 6 for the sophomore. And Theron Jones, he is filling in very well after EKU is missing her top assist man, Jay Jennings. He's out with an ankle injury, 4 assists per game off the board. But there is Chris Faye for another basket, 21-17 off the inbound after some subs check in as Teron Gardner, Dusty Harrison, and Dominique Cleveland join the fray out on the floor right now. 21-17 as Evan Schneiderman fades to the corner and he knocks it through. A 3-2 zone for the Colonels on that possession, but Schneiderman does a great job finding a spot in the soft coverage in the zone. Schneiderman's had some very huge performances down the stretch, 11 on senior day and then 20 more in the first round matchup, or rather the second round matchup against Murray State last episode. But heading back to the line is Josh Marshall, as the Colonels have made it a very strong point to get to the line and earn easy trips on this UT Martin defense from the charity stripe. They're already in the bonus as Marshall knocks down 2 for 2 there. Now switching to a 2-3 zone is the Colonels. Hamilton drives. He will kick it outside to Harrison. A little flick pass to Gardner, drawing 3 defenders. So strong down low is the freshman as he finds a fellow freshman. There is Harrison, who knocks down yet another 3-pointer in his freshman campaign. And Harrison, he knocks down 25 of 48 on his freshman campaign. So 52% for the first-year college player. A very efficient 3-ball stroker. 23 up now as that ties the game, and now Roshan Martin continues the UT Martin run with a jump shot there from the corner. Diggs, he tallies another assist, and Roshan Martin, efficiency is a bit of an issue since he stepped in this year. The first year point guard Roshan Martin shoots 36% from the floor, 3 points on the season, and now Blaine Fry will get onto the box score in terms of scoring the ball. His first basket on his first attempt, and the Colonels are starting to sweat a little bit here. Heading into that EKU timeout, UTM was enjoying a 17-5 run, and you're really seeing just how dangerous UTM is on offense. Nice pick and roll there as Javier Morgan checks in and he finds Keith Washburn. So a pair of bench players for EKU doing it all there on that possession. But having the #1 offense in the conference, you got to have some spurt ability, some ability to go on runs, as UT Martin is displaying right here. But another turnover is forced by EKU as Chris Faye gives it away. And on that fast break, you had no idea where the rock was going. Great job sharing the ball by the Colonels. And they're only 1 team foul away from being in the double bonus here in the first half of action. This is Samaje Carrington, one of the better players off the bench for the Colonels, recording the 3-point play. As right now, he gets on the board. 32-29, Colonels now is once again EKU running a little press, but that's a dangerous pass that somehow gets in there. Blaine Fry records assist number 3, all have been to Chris Faye, and now Lawton is there, so strong with it down low. The burly senior, he's built like a tree stump, man. 6'8", 245 pounds, Lawton flying through the lane to retake the lead. 33-32, backdoor cut for Samaje Carrington, and this one is silenced by Blaine Fry. Top 5 in the conference in block shots, and he, night in and night out, is one of the best defenders on this team and in the conference. But like you guys know, it's very superfluous to block a shot, let it go out of bounds, and not get the stop, and that's exactly what UT Martin lets up right there. Sam Rigel up to 8 points now. Jacques Diggs, though, will set things up for UT Martin on the other side of things, but there is Theron Jones, who continues to make a huge impact with no Jay Jennings in the lineup. Jones points 6 and 7 off of the steal, and yet another turnover is relinquished by UT Martin. Down by 3 with only seconds left to play here in the first half of the OVC Championship. Chris Faye goes high to low inside to Blaine Fry, who almost coughs it up again. He'll find Lawton, and this shot just looked bad out of the hand, but right into the hands of Blaine Fry, who resets to Jacques Diggs. We get a second look at it, and how dangerous this offense is, you can't afford it. 36 all as we head into the locker room. It's all tied up in the OVC Championship as Jacques Diggs led us in points and assists with 11 and 4. Chris Fay has been lights out since him and Josh Marshall started going to battle. He has 8. And the bench was so key in getting back into this game with Harrison, Schneiderman, and Gardner playing big minutes. We're destroying EKU on the glass, leading 13-6. However, EKU has a lot of team assists, and Josh Marshall and Sam Rigel had 16 points combined to lead the Colonels back into this ball game after UT Martin went on a bit of a run there. UTM versus EKU. The NCAA Tournament is on the line tonight with the second half up next. $36 we jump back in here with the second half, starting off with UTM with the possession as Diggs goes to work against Theron Jones but can't muster much room. He started out this game 2 for 3, but since he's been 1 for 4, he is sharing the ball well, Jacques Diggs, as there is Theron Jones thanks to the assist by Arturo Conklin. A lot of young talent on this EKU backcourt. Conklin and Theron Jones are both underclassmen, and they're playing big roles here tonight. As Lawton will try again, he didn't shoot the 3-ball very well in the first half, but Chris Fay has his back on the glass. 39-38, EKU with the advantage, but everybody on the EKU front court has had a lot of trouble keeping Fay off of the glass. There's points 9 and 10, the first player to get into double figures here in the second half, as Diggs already has 11, and there is Josh Marshall going back door for another basket. Conklin and Jones with 4 assists apiece, as Marshall is the first player on EKU to get into double figures here, as Hamilton will try a shot, no good, but for the second straight possession, Chris Fay gives UTM another crack at it here with 12 to go in the championship, down by 5. Diggs wants to go to work. Quick pick and roll between him and Fay. On the baseline, a little handoff. Fay with a strong move down low. Assist number 5 for Diggs, and it's always nice to know that even when Diggs doesn't have it going with his jump shot, he still shares the ball very well. 2.5 assists per game for the junior. There's Sam Rigel, the second player on the Colonels to get above 10 points. 45-40 as they continue to knock down shots. The Colonels very hot to begin their second half attack, but Diggs with no hesitation. And 1 for the junior, and a huge time in the ball game when Eastern Kentucky's coming out firing on all cylinders. This was a huge shot to retake some momentum and hopefully get Jacques Diggs back on track a little bit. He's under 50% shooting, but he knocks down the 3-point play. And now here we go with Pierre Hamilton. He deals with a mismatch on the outside. Aaron Dooley just does not have the foot speed to keep up with him. A quick cross for the senior as he knocks it through. Hamilton now on the board. Still looking for his first assist, surprisingly, as he leads the team in that category and is actually tied with Theron Jones. Both guys are 6th in the conference in assists per game with 3.8 a night for both point guards. 47-46 now. Here's another team assist. Count the basket. Everybody having trouble stopping Chris Fay here. Another basket as Liam Stevenson, the backup power forward, is tagged for the goaltending. 49 apiece now. UTM has clawed their way back into this game with 7:44 to go in the championship game. Stevenson high post will feed to Arturo Conklin. Good closeout by Rashawn Martin, but Conklin does not care. He recorded 6 assists before getting on the board as Conklin has his first basket, a tough shot from the corner. Back up by 5, UTM, the top seed in the tournament, again with their backs against the wall as Schneiderman gives it away. This is Guyton, who comes off the bench for the biggest scoop and score of the entire matchup today. 56-49, EKU running away with it as Schneiderman with a very errant turnover there. And in terms of taking care of the basketball, this has not been a very good day for UT Martin, but they'll set it up here against a 3-2 zone, and look what Teron Gardner does there. Bounce pass to Harrison for 3-ball number 2 for the freshman. Teron Gardner got the ball to the middle so easily against the 3-2, and whenever you can attack like that against that zone, then they can basically say goodnight. That's exactly how you attack a 3-2. 58-53, still running with the same lineup, as now Schneiderman will pull back-to-back triples for UT Martin. Great job by Harrison sealing off Schneiderman's man, so he had an easy look at it, and then a lazy pass is picked off by Hamilton for steal number 3. The hat trick for the senior point guard. Schneiderman again will pull. Coach Carter probably not a fan of that shot, but Schneiderman has been so hot down the stretch of his sophomore campaign, taking the lead for UT Martin with 4:44 left to go. As the starting 5 checks back in, but what an effort. So many spark plugs on this bench for the Skyhawks. Schneiderman, Harrison, and Teron Garner did their parts in this ball game. 4:40 left to go. It's all up to the starters to try to preserve this lead. Inside to Marshall. Nice job going with the pick and roll off of the timeout. Arturo Conklin with another assist. Josh Marshall has been by far the biggest thorn in our side every single game that we've matched up against the Colonels. He had 18 and 10 in the first game, 19 and 9 in the second game, and he's got 14 tonight. So he's been our biggest adversary in all 3 matchups, and that reigns true tonight. 60-59, 3 seconds left on the shot clock. This one reverses back around to the best 3-ball shooter on the Colonels, but luckily Sam Rigel had a foot on the line, so it's only a 2 as he improves to 4 of 5 shooting on the ball game for Sam Rigel. Assist number 7 for Arturo Conklin, the game's leading assist man. 62-59, a 3-point game with 3 left to go as we run a floppy screen for Jacques Diggs, who once again delivers another late game assist for Pierre. 62-61, as on the subsequent possession, Arturo Conklin is fouled, so the underclassman will go to the line, recording point number 4 on the first free throw, but he can only knock down 1 of 2. Blaine Fry clears it for rebound number 5. 63-61, 2:20 left to go, as Pierre Hamilton is getting a little bit harassed there near the timeline. But he'll set up a play, splitting the zone, kicking it out to Jacques Diggs, and Diggs gets deep into his bag for this one. Look at the drive by Jacques Diggs, fearless, and his take to the cup to tie things back up. Throwing up the pump, Arturo Conklin can't cover it, and then he goes with a teardrop over the 6'9" sophomore Marshall, as once again our team captain comes through in a big way. Points number 19 and 20 for Jacques Diggs, knotting this game back up at 63 apiece with 1:46 left to go. Who wants to break the tie on this Skyhawks possession? Let's find out. 12 seconds to go. Here we go with Hamilton. He'll give this one back up to Diggs, who flashes to the corner. Diggs for the lead. He got it! 22 points along with his 6 assists. Jacques Diggs doing it all and then some for UT Martin. Our team captain has put us up 3 with 90 seconds left to play. Let's go, but we need some stops here down the stretch. This has definitely been the biggest part of the entire ball game. EKU came out firing on all cylinders in the second half, and they cooled off a little bit as Sam Rigel will go for the tie. This one is long. Okay, Chris Fay collects rebound number 8 on the game, and we're approaching only seconds left to go here in the championship matchup. And Coach Carter begging his team to slow it down. We'll go with Fay as they bring help for him. We're setting it back to Diggs with 18 to shoot, under a minute to play now. Lawton, he finds a mismatch in the post, but now they bring a double for him too. 10 seconds left. Chris Fay wants to reset it. He'll find Luke Lawton. 7 seconds left. This one's tipped out of bounds by Theron Jones. Very stingy defense played by the Colonels there, with their season pretty much on the line here. 5 seconds left to shoot off the inbound. It is a designed play for Jacques Diggs, who flashed to the ball. 4 seconds left. They'll go with the ISO. Step back off his back foot. Tough shot. No good. But Chris Fay is there for the cleanup. Rebound number 9 for him. His 4th on the offensive glass. And Pierre and company, they can take their time. As Pierre surveys against this man-to-man defense, EKU's thrown pretty much every defense you can think of at the Skyhawks today. 18 seconds left, a 3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. The Colonels want to play for the last shot. They're not trying to foul. 6 seconds left on the shot clock, 9 in the game. Diggs wants to go one-on-one again against Theron Jones. Step back for the second time. This one is off again, but Chris Fay is there, and he'll throw it up so he's not fouled. Chris Fay with rebound number 10 secures the Ohio Valley Conference Championship. 66-63 is your final, and the Ohio Valley crown goes to UT Martin for the second time in Coach Carter's career. And I think I gotta explain myself a little bit here as we replay this last play. With 6 seconds left, I wanted to put it in the hands of our best player, Diggs. He missed it, and Chris Fay here, I just wanted to put up a quick shot after he grabbed the rebound, so we couldn't foul him. We walk it off here against EKU 66-63 in a memorable game, finally beating the team that has given us the most grief this entire season. A nail-biting win. What a performance. We didn't let Eastern Kentucky score in the final 2:12 of this ball game. Our offense was great. Our offense has been the story of this entire season, but when it came down to it with the NCAA tournament on the line, it was our defense that shut the door on the Colonels. And thus, Ohio Valley Conference crown number 2 and NCAA tournament appearance number 2 is awarded to Ken Carter and University of Tennessee at Martin. A huge season. What a season it's been, as we simulate further to Selection Sunday, not to find out if we're going to be playing in the tournament, but when and who we're going to be playing in the tournament. Such a huge deal. This has been the best season in Coach Carter's tenure here and in school history. The 26-win, 5-loss UT Martin Skyhawks. They're about to find out who they're playing in Season 5's NCAA tournament, thanks to Chris Faye's 2 biggest rebounds of that young man's entire life.
Good evening and welcome. I'm Greg Gumbel here with my partner Clark Kellogg, bringing you the 2K Sports NCAA Selection Show. We're all set to show you the seedings and pairings, so get out your bracket sheet, get those pencils ready. Here are the basics. But before we unveil the brackets for this season, here's a look at the final top 25 media poll of the season. There's certainly one big shift that we'll be talking about. We have a new team in the top 25 this week. The Ole Miss Rebels break into the poll as the number 25 team. The media rankings are what everyone's been following for the last 4 months, but in just a minute, the selection committee's opinion is going to be the only one that matters. Now let's take a look at the NCAA tournament bubble and see which teams are sitting at home with their fingers crossed, hoping to see their name in the brackets. The Duke Blue Devils are the top overall seed, and they will play in the East Regional. On to the second number 1 seed, who will play in the South Regional. The Memphis Tigers are seeking their first ever NCAA championship. The Texas Tech Red Raiders are our third number 1 seed, and they'll play in the Midwest Regional. They're back in the tournament again, and no doubt they'll be feeding off the experience of last year's appearance as they try to get to the Final Four this year. And finally, our fourth number 1 seed will play in the West Regional. The Florida Gators are in the tournament field as a number 1 seed for the first time in the history of their program. First up, we take a look at the East Regional.
Hey guys, what I decided to do to save a little bit of time is just to show you guys quick the first 3 regions with a little bit of music in the background, and then the 4th region, UT Martin's region, I'll be, rocking with the color commentators in the game. So for the first 3 regions, going through them quick, grab some popcorn, and enjoy with some music in the background. See if your favorite team's in here.
Next up, we'll take a look at the South Regional. On to our third bracket of the day. Let's take a look at the Midwest Regional. And finally, let's have a look at the West Regional. The Florida Gators are the top seed, finishing at 26-5. They were winners of the regular season championship in the SEC. They'll take on the Southern Utah Thunderbirds, the number 16 ranked team. This will be their second appearance all time in the NCAA tournament. Next up is the number 8 seed. The Northern Illinois Huskies are the regular season champion from the MAC. They'll be going up against the number 9 seed, the San Diego State Aztecs, with 22 wins. This marks their 7th appearance in the NCAA tournament in the history of their school. Minnesota comes in as the number 5 seed, finishing at 23-9. And they will take on the 12th seed from the Big East, the Connecticut Huskies, with 19 wins. Kansas comes in as the number 4 seed, finishing at 24-9. Tennessee Martin comes in to face them at number 13 with 26 wins in the tournament and regular season championships of the Ohio Valley Conference. Our number 6 seed is from the SEC. The Ole Miss Rebels were rewarded for their outstanding play this season with an at-large bid and a ticket to the big dance. They are going to play the number 11 seed, the Fresno State Bulldogs, who were regular season champions in their conference, finishing at 21-6. The Ohio State Buckeyes are in as the number 3 seed. They'll be taking on the number 14 seed, the Youngstown Penguins, with 20 wins. And now the number 7 seed, the Davidson Wildcats, come into the tournament first in their conference during the regular season and were winners of their conference tournament. They are going to play the number 10 seed, the Aggies of Texas A&M, who were 5th in their conference, finishing at 21-10. Louisville enters the field as the number 2 seed from the Big East. It's yet another appearance in the brackets for a school that's no stranger to the NCAA tournament. They'll be getting ready to face the number 15 seed, the Creighton Blue Jays. There are going to be some incredible matchups in the later rounds of this bracket. If the top seeds can avoid the early upsets, we can look forward to some real heavyweight battles. Clark, how do you view this year's top 16?
Kansas got a raw deal in my view. If you take a look at what they accomplished, it is hard to believe they
slipped to a 4 seed. Florida is going to be an extremely difficult matchup for any and all of their opponents. I say all of their opponents because I think they'll have a lot of them.
We showed you the bubble teams before. Now that we know who's in and who's out, what do you think of the selections, Clark?
Georgia Tech must feel a whole lot better now than they did before the show started. Their ticket is punched, and they're on their way to the dance. But frankly, I'm not sure for just how long they'll be dancing.
While those teams are celebrating getting into the tournament, let's take a look at the other teams who are on the short end of the stick.
Houston stumbled to the finish line coming down the stretch. And that's not the way to close out the season if you're hoping for an at-large bid.
Thanks, Clark. I'm sure that this year will provide us with all the thrills and excitement that we've come to expect from the tournament.
Greg, it's going to be a fantastic tournament. We've got an outstanding field and a lot of sensational players. I guarantee there are some memorable moments soon to come.
Well, just like in Season 3's NCAA Tournament, we get a pretty tough draw here in the first round, facing the iconic Kansas Jayhawks, who have posted numerous amounts of national championships and banners and All-American selections, and they are our first round opponent next episode. And you heard it, Clark Kellogg, he was talking big game about how the Kansas Jayhawks should have been a higher seed. We got a raw deal, or they got a raw deal playing us. And he was also talking up Florida too, how he said there was going to be a lot of games for the Gators. And honestly, this does look like the biggest challenge in terms of bracket seeding. I feel like our region is very tough. I mean, so many good teams. If we win, somehow shock the Jayhawks, then we're either going to face UConn or Minnesota, and the Golden Gophers have 24 wins this season. I mean, it just looks like a tough draw, but got to keep our heads up. Little David versus Goliath action next episode. And if you're anything like me, you're wondering, we had less wins back in Season 3, but we were an 11 seed. We did a lot better this season, 26 wins, 2 conference losses, and we were only a 13 seed. Well, take a look at the mid-major poll. There were so many good teams in the mid-major conferences, including us. It was just very competitive for those smaller conferences, and they were well represented in the NCAA tournament. So that's my theory on how we got a worse seed this year with a better record and a better conference record. Nonetheless, should be a very exciting game. I can't wait to try to knock off Kansas. Kansas had a lot of deep runs, but they've also been the victim of some very early exits as well. You want to talk about, Bucknell back in the 2000s, or Northern Iowa back in 2010. This is a team with some upset potential. I really like the UT Martin Skyhawks going forward, and I can't wait to tackle the Jayhawks whenever you see me next. Stay tuned. UT Martin trying to make some noise in the NCAA tournament next time you see me. Stay safe out there, everybody. I'm signing out.